Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel and the various audios we have. We've got over 390 audios on a variety of topics available. Hopefully, something that's useful to you. If you're looking for coaching in an entertainment, personal, business, or relational way, spiritual and non-spiritual way, please feel free to reach out. There are many things we can do to make 2021 your best year yet. We're going to talk today about being missed. We all, or almost all of us, hope that we make an impact on people sometimes more than we actually do. And so we often have the question of, does so-and-so miss me? Now, this can be a platonic friend, a best friend we've fallen out of touch with. This can be a person that we were romantically connected to. This could be a boss that we really feel like we helped their business and we don't work there anymore. Did they value me? Do they miss me? Do they miss my contributions? All of these can be really interesting things, and so there's about half a dozen things I want to go through that would indicate that. If you are looking for coaching of any sort, please feel free to get in touch. There's two ways to do that. My website is in the main part of this page. The About Me section link is there, so you can go there, check that out, and do all of that. The second way is on Twitter at PO Perception, and you can send a direct message, and I or a member of the team will get back to you about setting up a session and all that good stuff. But until then, let's kind of dive into this particular topic of the moment and of the day. It is extremely valuable to, in fact, be able to kind of deal with knowing if we're being missed. And so one of the ways that people notate this early now is, social media, maybe not stalking, but social media activity. If a person misses you, they might look at your post, they might look at your pictures, they might comment on a picture or a post, they might interact with you about something social that they know you're interested in, or just be interactive. Unfortunately, social media is a guide for personal interest these days. I say unfortunately because it is directly related to the depersonalization of the value of relationships, that people would use something like Facebook or Twitter or another application to show interest in another person. But because we've entered into a Western voyeuristic society, this is more likely than it's ever been in history to have depersonal ways to kind of show interest in another person, which can send some interesting and often mixed messages. The next one is drunk texting. So we've all, I think, most of us anyway, the majority of us, have received a drunk text here in the last little while, or in our lifetime, certainly. And so usually there's an old saying that the words of a drunk person are the thoughts of a sober one, and so a lot of times the inhibitions that are dropped through inebriation and intoxication can lead a person to be more honest about their emotions than they would be under normal circumstances, where panic or anxiety can take them away from being truly empowered. This can be extremely difficult, because if the only reason that a person is being honest or forthright in that way is because of intoxication, well, that can actually lead to a lot of challenges there, in terms of, hey, the only time you're honest about how you feel about me is when you're intoxicated. Well, gee, I don't feel so good about that. But it does happen in that way, that, in fact, there are people that are only honest under those circumstances. The next thing that people need to consider is individuals who constantly bring up the past. There's an old Billy Joel song. Billy Joel, probably one of, if not my top favorite musical artist of all time, and he has a line in a song that I love and I use with clients in these type of situations all the time. The good old days weren't always good, and tomorrow ain't as bad as it seems. But people who are nostalgic for a friendship or the value of one may and in fact often do focus on the past. So they'll call you up and have a conversation with you, and they'll talk about, remember when we were in high school, or remember when we went here or there, remember when this happened, that happened, or whatever. The nostalgia associated with the past and the belief that the good old days were the best in the world does kind of cause people who've fallen out of touch to desire that familiarity and comfort of the connection from the good old days. The next is if they talk about you to others. Now, this could be other people in your social group, this could be your friends, your family, or people that they have in common with you if they haven't seen you in a while. Not that there's anything necessarily right or wrong with that, to be honest. It's neither positive nor negative, but if they're talking with you about other or to other people about you, that's a sign that they in fact miss you because they want to know what's going on with you without seeming desperate or needy or whatever negative emotion experience they're trying to avoid. And that can be a great way to know, hey, maybe it isn't a bad idea to get back in touch. Mirror imaging is another way to know if someone's interested in kind of reconnecting with you or if they miss you. So they may speak like you in the same cadence. They may use the phrases you use. They may dress like you, use body language like yours. In other words, the more like you they are in their affect and how they present themselves, the more chances are they miss you. If they're doing things like you would do them, it's because they remember being happy when they were in your presence on a more consistent basis. The last one, well, if they call you by mistake or text you by mistake. Oftentimes we say things are a mistake when in reality we don't want to admit that we want a higher level of connection than we actually have with a person. And so we say, oops, I didn't mean to call you, I butt dialed you, or whatever the case may be. When in reality, no, you didn't. You really wanted to call me or have contact with me, but you didn't want to look emotionally needy or whatever the case may be. And so that can be somewhat problematic. So hopefully this is helpful. Till next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.